Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 12th March 2025. In this video, let us generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons can be accessible at our NeoStock YouTube channel. Channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. Just click on the link. Now we are in Supply Demand Zone Price Action course. All training videos are available here. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So go through all these lessons one by one according to the training instructions mentioned at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. In the Telegram channel pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. If you learn the course according to the training instructions, then only you will become a very good independent trader. So please make use of this opportunity. Now I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. Okay, starting with yearly time frame. Stocks price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video, study the report and then proceed to the next reports. Follow this process for this entire all different reports I am publishing in this video. Those who don't understand the structure of this report, I request you complete training lesson 21.1, part 1 of lesson 21. In that video, I have explained all the columns, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next. Price closed inside the yearly supply zone. We don't have any stocks. Next time frame, half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near half yearly supply zone, no stocks. Stocks price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside half yearly supply zone, we got 2 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone, 4 stocks we got. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, first 23 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 39 stocks we got. From this list we can further filter based on the quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. I am going back in the EMA Confluence filter at quarterly time frame. I am setting quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. Trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now the list is come down to 19 stocks. So these 19 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA Confluence and also current price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. Okay, next. Quarterly time frame. Price closed inside quarterly supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let's check how many of these quarterly supply zones having quarterly EMA Confluence. So 3 stocks out of 4, 3 stocks quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about quarterly time frame. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 19 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 51 stocks we got. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at monthly, I'm setting the filter. And trend also at monthly, not sideways, only up or down. Now the list is reduced. First 22 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 26 stocks. Price closed inside the monthly demand zone, and those monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence. Okay, next monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Let's check out of these 11 how many monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence. So we got 3 stocks. These 3 monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence, and current price closed inside these monthly supply zones. Okay, this is about monthly time frame. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So totally 18 stocks are filtered. Next, weekly time frame. Stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 45 stocks are filtered. Out of these 45, how many weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's filter. So we got 3 stocks. Only these 3 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. And also current price closed inside these weekly demand zones. Okay. Next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 29 stocks are filtered. Out of these 29, how many weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's further filter. Now the list is come down to 13 stocks. These 13 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence, and those weekly supply zones current price is closed in those weekly supply zones. Okay, this is about weekly time frame. The next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got 13 stocks. Out of these 13, how many high liquidity daily demand zones are available? Let us verify. We have only one valid high liquidity daily demand zone, that is Torrent Power, already tested 4 times. And if you have fine-tuned 5 minutes, fresh fine-tuned 5-minute zone or any high liquidity 5 minutes demand zones, fine-tuned zones, you can plan the trades. Otherwise, zone will be violated. Okay, one high liquidity daily demand zone. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price is near to the daily supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Hindustan Unilever is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. Kotak Bank is PS, so you can't use it for HLQ zone strategy. And the second one is Marico. So we have 2 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next, price closed inside the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 49 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Setting the filter. We got 10 stocks. So current price closed in these 10 daily demand zones, and also these daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Some of these daily demand zones are piercer zones. You can apply piercer zone strategies on those stocks. Okay, next, daily time frame. Price closed inside the daily supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 47 stocks are filtered. Current price closed inside the daily supply zone. We can further filter this list by setting the parameter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at daily time frame, setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, and trend on the daily time frame is up or down. With these filters, now the list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered out of 47. And these 20 daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, and also the current price closed inside the daily supply zone. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones from this list. CG Power is a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We identified only one high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone from this list. Next, 75 minutes time frame. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. CAMS is a pierced zone. You can't use it for high liquidity zone strategy. You can use it for pierced zone strategy, but not HLQ zone strategy. It is not valid. And Chambal Fertilizers is having a high liquidity supply zone. Dabur is having a high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We identified 2 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Next, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let's verify how many of them are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So I enable the filter. So we identified only one stock. This 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. That is what zone confluence. Okay, next 15 minutes time frame. Stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 5 stocks. So let's verify how many of these 5 stocks are having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minutes supply zone with 15 minutes supply zone confluence, enabling the filter. So we got 2 stocks. So these two 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Let's verify how many of these 3 stocks are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. So with this filter, we got 2 stocks. These two 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, next 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got 13 stocks. Out of these 13 5 minutes supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. Out of 6, first one and third one are pierced supply zones. You can't use them. Okay, this is about stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, we will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. Let's start with NIFTY from monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is a monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. Same rules you can apply to the remaining supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next. Weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for for Nifty. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. This is the nearest demand zone. Let me put it in the center. Okay, next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All are supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. And the nearest demand zone to the current closing price is 39. Let me put it in the center. Okay, next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All are supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. $68 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. 67 is nearest supply zone to the current closing price. So let me adjust in the middle. Okay. So this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will look into BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Nifty Bank is nothing but BANKNIFTY. So generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. So I'm putting it in the center. Okay, next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. All are supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is 35. Nearest supply zone to the current closing price is 34 serial numbers. So let me adjust in the middle of the screen the nearest ones so that you know the zones above and below the existing current demand and supply zones. Okay, this is about a Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So with this we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Next we will look into bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades, starting with monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at a daily time frame, I am selecting bullish. And the zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. Let's filter. We got 9 stocks. So let us verify how out of these 9, how many are having high probability to get success. First, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily and a weekly demand zone confluence. With this filter, out of 9, we got 6 stocks. So daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. So if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA, there could be even more high probability to get success. And also weekly trend is uptrend. ITF trend is weekly. So I am setting EMA confluence filter at weekly time frame because the daily is overlapped with weekly zone. That's why we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence and trend is uptrend. So one stock is filtered. This stock might be having more high probability to get success. That's why it is already tested 4 times. Okay, this is about LTF, ITF and ITF EMA confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already available. Next, daily with monthly demand zone confluence. Weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. So in this stock, this daily demand zone overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up. HTF is monthly. So that's why if monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, this daily demand zone might be having even more high probability to get success because it is overlapped with the monthly zone. So in the EMA confluence at monthly, I am checking monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence or not. So that stock is not having monthly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bearish. And zone confluence should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. With these filters, we got 4 stocks. These 4 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Okay, out of these 4, let us identify high probability trade setup supported stocks. First, based on LTF, ITF, supply zone confluence. That is a daily and a weekly supply zone confluence. With this filter, out of 4, we got all the 4 stocks. That means all these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in all these stocks. because the daily is overlapped with weekly and weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, then in that setup, these daily supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. The EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am selecting weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. We got out of 4, 3 stocks we got. These 3 stocks might be having even more high probability to get success for these 3 daily supply zones, because they are part of the weekly supply zone and weekly is having weekly EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter, that is a daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence supported stocks. Already daily and weekly supply zone confluence filter is enabled. Next, daily with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. So, sideways trend, monthly EMA confluence checking does not add any advantage. So, that's why we are not looking for EMA confluence verification. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Okay, next, let us generate weekly income trade stocks. First, bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score 12. And at 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. So with these filters, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with only these 2 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Now we should check how many of these demand zones are having zone confluence with daily demand zone, because these are the 75 LTF. Daily is ITF. So we should look for LTF, ITF demand zone confluence supported stocks. So in the demand zone confluence, I should set the filter. 75 minutes demand zone is having daily demand zone confluence or not. So with this filter, we got both the stocks. So that means in both these stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. And trend is up in both the stocks, ITF trend, that is daily trend. So if daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, then those stocks are having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am checking daily demand zone is having daily EMA confluence. So one stock is having, this is having even more high probability to get success. This is LTF, ITF demand zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next we should look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence. I am removing this ITF filter. So in the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got both the stocks. That means in both these stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is up in both the stocks. If any of these stocks are having weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence, then that is having even more high probability to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence weekly time frame, I am checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. So again we got HDFC only. So this is having more high probability to get success. So this is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is a supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and hands score 12. And 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 20 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list which are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income, bearish trade, not bullish, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Out of these 20, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? Let's verify. That is not demand zone, supply zone. This is bearish trade setup, not bullish trade setup. Sorry for the mistake. All these stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. First 15 stocks and total 20 stocks. So out of these 20, we should look for how many of these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with the daily supply zone. So let's set that filter. So here I am selecting the filter 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, out of 20 stocks, we got 14 stocks. In these 14 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with the daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in all these stocks. That is ITF trend. So that's why if daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, these 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success because they are overlapped with daily supply zone. So let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am selecting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, now the list is come down to 9 stocks. So these 9 75 minute supply zones are having even more high probability to get the success compared to the others. Okay, this is LTF, ITF supply zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. So I am removing ITF EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Second, 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence and a daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. That means in these 5 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with the daily supply zone. Again, both together overlapped with the weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in all these stocks except the second one. So ignore the second one. In remaining 4 stocks, if weekly supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence, then there could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, I am selecting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. With this filter, We got 3 stocks. So these 3 stocks are having weekly, sorry, not 3. We have to ignore the first one. Let me filter that. I forgot to set the trend filter on weekly time frame. I am selecting downtrend. Sideways we don't want, because it is bearish trade setup. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 supply zones, 75-minute supply zones, might be having even more high probability to get success. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Okay, next we will generate daily income trade reports. For daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 15 minutes I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement should be violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12, and this 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 4 stocks. That means currently these 4 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. And these entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 15 minutes, out of these 4 15 minutes demand zones, how many are having ITF demand zone Confluence? Let us verify. In the demand zone Confluence, I am setting the filter 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone Confluence. With this filter, we got all the 4 stocks. That means these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up in all the 4 stocks. So that's why if 75 minutes demand zone is having daily EMA Confluence, then these 15 minutes demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA Confluence or not. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks might be having even more high probability to get success. These 15 minutes demand zones, they are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone, and that 75 minutes demand zone is having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone Confluence supported stocks. I am removing this EMA filter. So in the demand zone Confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone Confluence, and 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. That means all are part of daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in 2 stocks. If any of those 2 stocks are having daily EMA Confluence, daily demand zone with daily EMA Confluence, they might be having even more higher probability to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at daily time frame, I am selecting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. And the trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend, because it is a bullish trade setup. We got both the stocks. So that means these 2 stocks are having even more high probability to get success. So this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish, and zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. minimum odd enhancer score should be 12, and these 15-minute supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 13 stocks. So these 13 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15-minute supply zones. All these supply zones are 15-minute supply zones. All these are all. Okay, out of these 13 stocks, how many of these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone? That is LTF, ITF, supply zone Confluence. Let us set that filter for these 13 stocks. So in the supply zone Confluence, I am enabling the filter 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone Confluence. With this filter, out of 13 stocks, we got 9 stocks. That means in all these 9 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zones. And 75-minute trend, ITF trend, is down in all these stocks. So that's why if any of the 75-minute supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence, then these 15-minute supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success, because 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. And that 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence. Let's verify. I'm setting the filter EMA Confluence on the 75 minutes time frame by selecting 75-minute supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 stocks are having even more high probability to get success. These 3 15-minute supply zones, because they are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. And that 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, this is LTF, ITF, supply zone Confluence, and ITF, EMA Confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF, and HTF supply zone Confluence supported stocks. I am removing this ITF, EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone Confluence, and 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Again, both together overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in all the 4 stocks. So that's why if the daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, in that scenario, those 15-minute supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence or not. With this filter, out of those 4 stocks, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 15-minute supply zones are having even more high probability to get success. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, we will generate hourly income trade reports. First, bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should always be 12 or more. And 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 5 minutes time frame, 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 7 stocks. Out of these 7, how many are having ITF ITF demand zone Confluence? Because this is bullish trade setup. ITF means 15 minutes, LTF 5 minutes. So we should look for 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence supported stock out of these 7 stocks. So in the demand zone confluence, I am setting the filter 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. Now we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. And 15 minutes trend is up in all these stocks. If any of the 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA, probably that stock could be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify whether we can find any stocks. At 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So one stock is filtered. So this daily demand zone might be having more high probability compared to the other stocks. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. And 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. That means in all these 4 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up in 2 stocks. If any of these 2 stocks, 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then those stocks could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at the 75 minutes time frame, we are selecting 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence or not. So both the stock, one is sideways, we have to eliminate that. So trend on the 75 minutes should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So we got only one stock. So this stock is having even more high probability to get success. So this is a bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. And this 5 minute supply zone should be having a zone achievement violated opposing zone, and a minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And this 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0 with these filters. We got 7 stocks. So these 7 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. All these are all 5 minutes supply zones. Out of these 7 5 minute supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. Let's set that filter. So I am enabling the filter 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zones. And 15 minutes trend is down in all these stocks because it is bearish trade setup. So if any of the 15 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, then those 5 minute supply zones might be having more probability to get success. Let's verify. The EMA confluence 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting the filter 15 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. One stock is filtered. So this 15 minute supply zone is having more high probability to get success. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone Confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next 5-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone Confluence. And 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. That means in these 3 stocks, these 5-minute supply zones are overlapped with 15-minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. So in the 75 minutes, the trend is down in only one stock. If this 75-minute supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, then this 5-minute supply zone might be having more probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter. 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence, and trend on the 75 minutes time frame should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So with these filters, we did not get any stocks. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup, hourly income trade. So we have completed all the income trades. Next, in the final report, we will generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices and remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.